Hi, just a quick announcement. If you'd like to be a part of the channel and support it, I'll be creating a Patreon page soon, hopefully before the next upload. However, if you'd just like to support the making of videos like these, as YouTube doesn't allow me to monetize them, then the link to my PayPal page has been added. Please enjoy the video.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it. Touch it, stroke it and undress it. I can see every part. Nothing hides in the heart to hurt me.
The greater the power, the less the freedom. The higher the rank, the more servant. The traditional take on the 10th house is that this is the house of public career, social dignity, reputation, our leadership portfolio and executive decisions. The most visible side of us, where the crystallization takes place at the highest point in the sky. This is where our castle sits on a hill, as the world views us most visibly through our 10th house in midheaven. This placement feeds into the institutional ranks and concrete limitations that come under the influence of Capricorn, and of course Capricorn's esoteric and exoteric ruler, Saturn. As here we see a monarch, who is active within the mundane responsibilities of their empire, rather than the victory of conquering it, as in the fixed sign of Leo. In Leo, the leadership emanates from the heart center, and the second ray of love and wisdom, the celebratory expression of the 5th house, whereas the 10th house emanates from the first ray of willpower and purpose, and the third ray of active intelligence, leading to iconic roles of direct influence on the earth, as these rays synchronize into lawful maintenance of social order, both exoteric and more so those esoteric and beyond the masses' primary senses. The 10th house places the firmament right before all who view it, as this throne is made of cardinal earth and touches both the heavens and the earthly plane. Hence, the employment by divine fate of the soul plays out through occupation, honor, seniority and regulation, duty and law, as this house signifies the governance of oneself under the priestly laws found in the 9th house. This ties into the restriction and lawful karmic practice of Saturn, as the planet itself sifts away the impurities methodically and applies strict and stringent methods into lawful rulership of the cosmic material realm, providing with it the cosmic treasures and statutes, and planets sitting in the 10th house must fall under these laws, representing the highest lawful practice of the star signs sitting above the 10th in their natal chart.
Tried my patience and that of my hard-pressed army long enough. By my faith, I swear, it would be better that those gallant generals, Essex and Manchester, took up swords with the king. For then might we be assured of victory. Yes. But by their reluctance to pursue this war with the intensity it demands, they have proved themselves treacherous, both to our cause and to this nation.
In alchemy, the process of Negredo is the stage in which the alchemist undergoes their distillation and purifying of the soul. This process comes to an end in Capricorn in the last decan and the 10th house, as Saturn is also referred to as the planet of decay, but also the planet which fashions true gold out of the sign. Capricorn is where the higher esoteric announcements of etheric laws are announced. Capricorn rules over the higher initiations which go beyond the orderly, yet somewhat limited clairsentient experiences. As the library of Capricorn itself lies within the walls of Tartarus, in the poem Dante's Inferno by Dante Alighieri, many attributions were given to hell. However, what was constant was the hierarchical social structures within it. Dante described each of the 9 circles of hell in his poem, each with their own laws and sins, and with that 9 virtues one could learn through the influences of Sagittarius in the 9th house. Once the aspirant had hit the mark, they were allowed into the halls of Capricorn to develop the higher faculties through the 4th and 5th initiations, making them a master of the alchemical arts. engaging in the performance and operation of the laws themselves.
The Lord of Hosts will do battle for us. Behold his mighty hand.
Saturn rules over the base metal lead, signifying the cardinal earth itself. Ancient Egyptians believed lead to be the true gold of the earth, as it was the role of the master to separate the mercury from the gold in the process of transmutation. This is what granted true authority, rank and dignity to the aspirant. This perfecting process of oneself is seen in the very rings of Saturn itself, and as Saturn's centrifugal force creates spokes within the rings, which sift the heavy material into denser segments of the intricate ring system. This natural characteristical trait is similar to the 10th house, as the influences from this house are constantly being refined and carry a heavy karmic potential. Makara is a legendary sea creature in Hindu mythology which in early art seems to have been inspired by a crocodile. This is the same crocodile which carries the god Varuna through Aquarius with the nakshatra of Sadabhaisha in the center. This is one of the many symbols given to the sign of Capricorn, aside from the goat, as crocodiles would keep the waterways in check, disposing of biomatter and keeping populations of other species in check. They are also prehistoric reptilians, pointing to the longevity and prolonged primed natural function of existence, and the natural rule of law, which is everlasting throughout our solar system. The 10th house is where the frantic energies emitted into the macro system of our solar system are given in physical form, as the sign of Capricorn represents skeletal bones, pyramids and hierarchies. This brings a cosmic soup of energy into the structural laws of Saturn, making you and me and everything that surrounds us visible to our perception. The high level of energetic, administrative, etheric social order done in this house exhibits itself through dignified asterisms and planets present within or aspects in it, and the dignity of these influences can be understood through the state one finds Saturn in the natal chart. This is where the energies of the chart are compressed and molded into shape, and why when trying to understand how people actually see you, the midheaven and 10th house is the best place to start. This house records the deeds which one is required to perform, hence the obligations and rules attached to them, and the karmic law, should they not be adhered to, can be stark. This karmic mission can be overbearing, and can be supplemented by saying the mantra for Saturn. However, a properly functioning Saturn in the natal chart will eventually propel the chart holder into the role of their 10th house and Saturn placement regardless. Large corporations function as extensions of government or vice versa, as they are governed by elaborate hierarchies and the rule of law. High-level administrative work in large corporations is also a function of a strong karmic house, but this also plays into the highly elaborate hierarchies of the body's energetic centers, and why Saturn sits in the Binah in the Kabbalistic tree, overseeing the majority of energy exchange. So because of the cardinal forces within this house, a huge theme becomes that of fame, as I spoke about this in a previous video on fame in the natal chart. Planets here give a very distinct, clear visual spectrum, almost trademarking the personality and the impressions it makes. However, the planets must fall under the karmic rules of the 10th house regardless of the planet or luminary placed here. The reputation left on others will be exerted by the presence of the planets here, and the placement of the midheaven and aspects to it, as well as the placement of Saturn in the natal chart as well. Capricorn was considered by Platonists to be the gates of the gods. It was held that the souls of all men released from the body ascended through the constellation into heaven. During the time of Plato, Capricorn was in the place of the winter solstice, the southern gate, and was thought to be a natural symbol of death and resurrection. On the cosmic level, Hindu tradition teaches that the world will be destroyed at a time when all planets meet in Capricorn. It is written that when the sun passes away beyond the 13th degree of Makara and will reach no more, the sign of Meena or Pisces, then the night of Brahma has come. Traditional astrology has Saturn ruling both the sign of Capricorn and the 10th and the sign of Aquarius and the 11th, though the traits and thoroughness of Saturn are noticeably different in each. They are technically the same construct. However, as mentioned in my 11th house video, the purpose of Aquarius is breaking away only to return, whereas the foundation for that to happen is in the 10th house. Saturn in the 10th house attempts to balance the equation rather than allowing it to balance itself like it does in the 11th.
Hello, Neo.
Who are you?
I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, a triumph equaled only by its monumental failure. The inevitability of its doom is apparent to me now as a consequence of the imperfection inherent in every human being. Thus I redesigned it, based on your history, to more accurately reflect the varying grotesqueries of your nature. However, I was again frustrated by failure. I have since come to understand that the answer eluded me because it required a lesser mind, or perhaps a mind less bound by the parameters of perfection. Thus, the answer was stumbled upon by another, an intuitive program, initially created to investigate certain aspects of the human psyche. If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother.
The Oracle.